Rampage Poker called me up and invited me out to Vegas for a few days to make some vlogs with him. Before even dropping our stuff off at his Airbnb, we decided to mix it up at the Wynn. We run into Ethan and our buddy Justin Escalona. Fellow vlogger Close to Broke makes a trip out as well. We're so degenerate though that we decided to start our own private 510 table. We're in for $1,500.
I need a hard money loan from my friend Ethan, Rampage Poker WSB bracelet winner.
Yeah, but I sold my WSB bracelet because I have no more money, so I can't really give you a loan if I have no money.
Have you have all those sports cards?
Just tell him.
Down the tank. Giannis not winning a ship this year, that's for sure.
We kicked this vlog off from the under the gun position. I raised ace queen offsuit up to $35. Our buddy Justin calls for $35, and that brings in the big blind as well. So going three ways to the flop here. The $105 in the pot, the flop comes Jack 7-4 rainbow. The action checks over to us, and with ace high here, this board is going to connect pretty well with our pre-flop raising range. We're going to have a lot of ace jack and king jack in our range. For that reason, I decided to go for a c-bet of $35. We start the night off with a W when both opponents make the fold, and we take down that $105 pot. Next hand to note, we look down at King 10 of clubs from middle position. King 10 of clubs is good enough for an open here. I make it $30. You can see Rampage taking some video there on his high-tech camera, but he ultimately folds and the action's on Justin in the big blind. Justin puts in the call for $30 and the $10 blind folds. Going heads up in position to the flop here, which comes Queen 9-8. We flop a gutters to the King high straight and Justin checks it over to us. We block Jack 10 here, which is the nuts. But we're not trying to get into a weird situation where Justin goes for a check raise and we're forced to fold our equity, so I decide to check behind. Turn gives us top pair, comes the King of Hearts, a pretty great card for us. Justin obviously thinks it's a great card for him as well, as he nonchalantly throws in one black chip, indicating to the dealer it's a $100 bet. $100 to me, and I think this is a no-brainer call here. No point in raising, no point in folding, that'd be way too nitty. I toss in 4 green chips and we're going off to the river. With $265 in the pot, the river comes the 9 of clubs. Justin continues to fire, this time for $200, and I don't really think the 9 of clubs changes too much. Obviously, if he had a 9, he'd have us beat now. We still beat any one pair of queen or an 8, even worse kings we can have beat here, so I decide to put in $200 and pay him off if he has us beat. He doesn't look too stoked to turn it over. I'm not going to net roll him. I turn over my top pair and he reluctantly turns over King 6, so we're going to chop that $665 pot.
What's up, Justin?
I wish I'm trying to get into it.
I have really good connections.
That's honestly just
that somebody will actually teach you.
It's like unfair that you're sitting so close to a
an
fish.
Ethereum project. Like Java.
This guy?
Yeah.
You think he's good?
Punts.
This is Rampage.
He's giving you all the profits from his t-shirt business.
Oh, my 10 luck box merch. You know what?
Him and I are doing a Luckbox 1340 trade this week.
Cowboy hats.
Oh, that'd be a good collab.
Yeah.
I'd cop one. With a little Nike swoosh on it.
Yes.
This hand is out of control. We look down at ace queen offsuit from the button. It's 2-5-10 here in our private game at the Wynn. The $20 straddle's on and the action's on Ethan. He puts in the $40 straddle. And don't tell that to Justin. He's not one to shy away from action. He puts in the $80 straddle. The action folds to me with the $80 straddle on and a premium hand like ace queen offsuit. We need to pop this up here. I almost 3x it to $225. The action folds back around to our buddy in the $40 straddle. That's Rampunts, Ethan Rampage Poker here, and he decides it's time to make a move on me. He shoves all in for $1,500. Justin quickly gets out of the way, his tail is between his legs, and the action's back onto us. We have ace queen here. Rampage just shoves all in for $1,500. He's in the $40 straddle, so we could discredit his hands a little bit here. We also know that he's filming, and maybe he just wants to do something for the viewers on the vlog. But calling off $1,500 here with just ace high, I mean, I'd even probably prefer having pocket jacks or something like that here, just so that we beat some of his pocket pairs. Any ace king has us dominated. Aces and kings, obviously not a great situation. Even queens, if he has that, it's not too great for us. I decide to pick a better spot here. I'm not going to be giving him my entire chip stack like that. I reluctantly give him the $225 that I decided to raise to. He's nice enough to put us out of our misery for a little bit. He tells me to pick a card. I pick the left card and he shows the king. Okay, so what do you guys think he has? Leave a comment down below. Does he have ace king, pocket kings? Does he have king queen and we had him crushed? I don't know. I hope it wasn't king queen. Let's go on to the next hand. We then witness Justin double through our buddy Ethan with pocket aces. We don't know what Ethan has. He mucks his cards, but all undercards on the board, and Justin's going to get a full double up through Ethan. We're in the $10 blind, and we look down at pocket sevens. The action folds back around to Justin, who raises it up to $35 from the button. The $2 blind gets out of the way pretty promptly and the action's back on the $5 blind. The guy in the big blind now raises it up to $135. He obviously doesn't believe Justin has it here on the button. I think we're deep enough here where we could call with our favorite hand. The action from the big blind is pretty strong, but given the fact that we're playing our favorite hand and we're playing pretty deep here in this 2-5-10 game, I think a call is appropriate, so that's what I do. I stick in $135 and the action's back onto Justin. He takes literally no time and 4 bets to $400, and pretty quickly after that the big blind gets out of the way. I don't know here, I don't really believe Justin. He's on the button, he's been mixing it up with some speculative hands. We've taken some shots. Pocket sevens is my favorite hand and he just made it $400. I seen him do that with some other speculative hands, so I decide time is now. We're going to go for it. I rip my entire $1,250 stack into the middle. Justin's filming for his own vlog and he thinks about it for a while. He looks down at his cards and ultimately he finds a call. He turns over pocket jack, so not the result that we wanted to see. We're going to need some help, dealer. One of these 5 cards, give us a 7 please. The flop comes pretty bad for us. Ace, queen, ace, no help, no backdoor draws for us. Turn comes the 6 of diamonds and the river is an inconsequential 3 of spades. Justin's going to take down that $2,600 pot with pocket jacks. Ethan, who we thought was our friend, decides to dap up Justin, give him a little knuckles, give him a little fist bump, and I don't know, Ethan. Between that all in and you congratulating the enemy, it appears that we're out for you in this session. Okay, we're in for our second bullet there. We didn't believe him. We paid him off with pocket sevens, our favorite hand, but still he stacked us with jacks. Oh well. Back in for another 1,500. Let's try to run it up. Let's go! Oh, are we doing it?
Alex, Wolfgang, Poker, whatever your name is. Cheers, buddy.
Let's go, buddy.
Oh God.
To the break of dawn, yo.
No, till I die. Yeah, I'm already dead.
We end up rebuying for $1,500. We're not going to leave this action here. It's too insane. And on top of that, the game turns into a 5-5-10. Next hand to note, we look down at king at 10 offsuit from the $10 blind and the action folds around to Justin. Justin's on the button and he raises it up to $40 and the action folds to me. I put in the call here. King 10 suited is going to be good enough to defend my blind with, and we're off to the flop. $90 in the pot and out of position. The flop comes king 7 jack, giving us top pair. Pretty good flop for our exact hand, but I decided to start with a check like I would with my entire range. Justin decides to go for a c-bet of $50, a little bit over half pot, and nothing much to think about here. I toss in 2 green chips and we're going off to the turn. Turn comes the 8 of hearts, which brings in the backdoor heart draw. It also brings in 9-10, although we do block that having the 10 of spades in our hand. I check the action over to Justin on the button for a second time, and he decides to go for a chunky bet here of $150. I don't really know what he's repping here. I guess he could have a worse king than us like he did on that first hand that we showed you when we had a king as well. Ultimately though, I don't really think there's too much to think about here. A fold would just be too nitty with our top pair. Let's put in the call and see what happens on the river. $490 in the pot. The river comes the ace of clubs. It really shouldn't change too much. If he's betting the flop and the turn, he's saying that he has a strong hand like king jack, king 7, jack 7, something like that, maybe even 9-10 for a straight. I make a no-brainer check over to Justin. Justin now goes for an even chunkier bet. He bets $500 into $490, putting us to the ultimate test here. At this point, we just have a bluff catcher. If he has any better king, set, straight, 2 pair, he's going to have us dominated here, and we're not going to like it. I decide ultimately when he raises pre, bets flop, turn, and river for pot, it's just not a situation I want to be putting $500 in. So reluctantly, I push my cards to the dealer. We asked Justin later what he had, and he said that he had 2 pair. I don't know if I believe him, but if he did, we made a good fold. We're in the $5 blind here. We look down at pocket 10s, a pretty good hand, and the action folds around to Justin. If you can't get the vibe already, Justin loves to raise. He makes it $40. The cutoff puts in the call, and the action's back onto us here. I don't really want to go 3 ways here with pocket 10s. Justin's range is going to be pretty wide. Given the fact that the cutoff just smooth called the $40 bet from Justin, I think his range is pretty capped. I don't think he's going to have us dominated here with any pocket pairs higher than our 10s. For that reason, I decided to 3-bet to $175. Justin's not done with the hand just yet. He tosses in 3 more chips, 1 black and 2 greens, indicating a call to the dealer, and sure enough, the cutoff gets out of the way, so we're going heads up. out of position against Justin to the flop. Flop comes ace, jack, deuce, and I decide to start with a check. This board is going to connect a lot more with our pre-flop 3-betting range than it will with Justin's calling range. So I do like a bet here a large portion of the time, but against Justin, I'm going to let him keep his bluffs in. I decide to check. He checks it behind and we're off to the turn, which comes the 5 of clubs. I check and he shows his cards saying let's just check it down. I say okay. Before you guys roast me for colluding, that's not what's happening here. It's our own private game, so I don't want to hear any of that. We're off to the river. River comes the queen of spades. I show my pocket tens. Surprisingly, Justin has none of it, and we're going to take down that pot.
Bro, this isn't the golden nugget.
This is
the golden
This is not the golden nugget.
This is sick.
Is this
That is pretty sick.
is this pocket kings at the golden nugget?
Yeah.
Not folding anymore.
Dude,
No more
that's
folding.
so brutal. It's so brutal.
I already recorded one. I couldn't even talk. He checked. He was first to act and checked and called after 3 other players.
Last hand of the night, we looked down at 6-9 of hearts, the happy meal, dinner for 2, whatever you want to call it. And the dealer just changed, so we're doing a double board bomb pot. We decided on $50, so there's already $400 in the pot. We're going off to 2 boards. First board comes pretty great for us. It comes ace, 10, ace, 2 hearts. We have the 9 high flush draw. The second board gives us a little bit of the same. It comes jack, 8, jack with 2 hearts. Pretty creepy that both boards are paired. We do have to worry about someone having pocket 8s on one of the boards, pocket 10s, ace 10, jack 8, hands like that, but given the fact that we have a flush draw on both boards, we have a lot of the hearts locked up, so it's unlikely that another opponent is going to have 2 hearts in their hand as well. Additionally, we have some backdoor draws on the jack 8 board. Could back into a 7 or a 10, potentially giving us a straight. It checks to me, and in these double board bomb pots, it pays off to be aggressive, and given the fact we have a strong hand, a lot of draws on both boards, I decide to fire for $150. Our buddy Close to Broke, or Karan as you guys might know him, he's on our left and he raises me up to $500. Ethan starts to film and the action's back on the under the gun player who decides to go all in for $1,100. The action's back onto us, and given the fact that Karan is a thinking player, he's a pretty good player here, I don't think he's going to have us crushed on both boards. I think worst case scenario, he could have us crushed on one of the boards, but given the fact that there's going to be 3 players in here, it's going to be a huge pot. I'm already stuck one buy-in for $1,500. Let's just stick our entire stack in there. I rip it all in. I put $1,400 of our soldiers into the middle, and Karan does the same. It's a 3-way all-in here, $4,300 in the pot. Come on, dealer, put a heart on one of the boards for us, please. The turn on the first board comes the 5 of diamonds. Pretty much a brick. I don't think that's changing too much. It doesn't give us any help as well. The second board comes the 3 of diamonds. Terrible on both boards. We're going to need help here on the river. 2 more cards to come. Please, dealer, 1 heart. First board comes the 5 of clubs. The second board comes the king of diamonds. We're left with 9 high. Pretty embarrassed to turn our hand over, but we do anyways. We're a good sport. Karan ends up showing pocket 10s. We flopped the boat on the first board. He had the first board dominated, but we had so many outs on the second board. Under the gun opponent chose a queen of hearts followed by a king of hearts, so we were actually in such bad shape there, guys. We were going up against a boat and the king high flush draw. There really wasn't any way we were going to be winning that. We couldn't even have won on the jack 8 jack board, as the first board giving us our straight flush out, the 10 of hearts, was already locked up on that first board. We were completely dead. Karan and the under the gun player are going to chop that pot up. They're just going to chop our money right in front of us. It's like torture. It's horrible to watch. Karan has a boat on the first board, and the under the gun player ended up rivering him with a king. GG, boys. Nice hand. Yeah. One more buy-in, boys? I think so. One more buy-in. We got some shots over here. Let's run it up. Let's go. Yo, Ethan, how'd we do tonight?
I have this bad boy. I bought it. It wasn't
Yeah, that's way sicker than me.
I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, this is a stack.
That's pretty good.
We'll find out.
We lost the most we've ever lost on the vlog.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Ram punts, learning from the best.
No more knit gang. Somebody in my last video, they said,
calls you
"Do
a
you-"
knit?
Well, they called me Knit Game Poker, but that's not what I'm talking about. Then my last video, they said, are you and Rampage under the same tutelage? Like, do you have the same coach? Because you both play identically bad.
Oh, we kind of suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we make videos.
That's how we come to
supplement our
Vegas.
losses.
That's why we come to Vegas. Obviously, we bought in for the 3rd time there for $1,500, but the game just broke. We were done with it. Just like Rampage, we're going to go into a rebuild mode here. We're going to need all the support we can get. We got into the game for $4,500, out of the game for $1,500. That's a loss of 3 racks. biggest loss on the channel. If you guys support this channel, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, leave a comment down below. We're gonna be playing big games this whole week with Rampage and Kieran.
Yes.
All right, you guys, peace. Thanks for watching to the end of my video. Click my head below to subscribe and stay in the loop. See you next time.